Uh, I think Lawrence Lessig is going to be the character I'll be using on all sides of my just using in general. When the people get pissed off at me being on a particular faction and that I'm an NS character, they can't do shit about it. And I'm not talking in faction chat, so they can't really. This is where I come to be to 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 be to get a little bit of to 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 balance out my people's perception of me, to kind of maybe get maybe this is what I just do. I don't use the other characters because I'm kind of sick of being Batman, and I'm not even really that much big on Batman at all. Uh, People have this misunderstanding that I want to be Batman. That to me, it's just cute to be Batman. It's not that I value the identity of Batman. I mean, a socialist taking on a capitalistic um, superhero idol. No, it don't work. I have money, yes, but I'm a socialist, so it just kind of ruins the whole identity of me being Batman. It's really just me making fun of cartoon heroes, and then somebody turns around and tries to muddy my face with it, and then they realize that I don't care for Batman at all. It's when I use money, I use it on other people more than I use it on myself, because I want other people to feel the things I'm feeling. It's a different form of that, you know. There are people that get angry and they take their frustration out by making other people feel as frustrated as they are. Um, Socialism is the opposite. It's making people feel as good as you are. It's similar but the opposite. It's that you're not intent on making people feel bad. It's that you're intent on making people feel satisfied. And it's just as whenever I'm into my porn, people expect, well, I'm into selfishness and I'm lusting after women and wanting women to be abused, and it's none of such. Even though I am attracted to such things, it's a perversity of having chased after the addiction. What I really desire, I've found, is to see satisfaction in the faces of women, and I know that I can't give them that satisfaction. Um, if at all I could give them satisfaction, it would be in a kind of philosophical sense. If they were really concerned or interested in philosophy, then they might look at me and say that I'm trying to bring some good to the world. They would be okay with that, but would they have a relationship with me? That was the question. I kind of doubt it, because I don't think that's, though it would be important to me, I don't think that's going to ever be something I'm blessed with. Probably not until God thinks that I really deserve it. It's probably something I'll never have, and it's probably not something I don't. Though I long for it, it's something I'm not going to ever have. And it's suitable. It's kind of like my not having women is equivalent to Paul's not having his vision, to not for his eyes to stop hurting, because that's what they said, is that he had some sort of visual disease or something, and he prayed to God to have it taken from him, and God said it was sufficient. It was suitable to kind of help him realize the weight of what it was to be on the other end, not really realizing what the weight of his disconcern for these Christians that were being, whose bloods were being taken on his hand, on his watch. And when he becomes a Christian, that he not feel, not be he be given the blessing of being a Christian, being on the right side, but then being given the curse of having taken the lives of Christians. So as just so to make, I guess, to make it to make it so that the others would empathize with him. because they understand that God cursed them. But God, you know, God was God was just trying to make it so that people would see him as human, I guess, more. In that he gave him a handicap for his own benefit, just as I've got a handicap for my own benefit. That if I didn't have this handicap, there wouldn't be any reason to let me have access to porn. Because my handicap makes it very difficult for me to have interpersonal relationship with anybody, even a woman. And oh man, what am I doing? Is there anything coming out of this? Oh, we're gonna take the tech plan. I'm just here to provide support in case we see any TR air vehicles, which we have not seen any. I don't see them. They're not over here. They might be over here later. I mean, it is that time of the morning. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. But dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Well, I was cutting the rug at a place called The Jug with a girl named Linda Lou. And in walked a man with a gun in his hand, and he was looking for you know who. He said, "Hey there, fella, with your hair colored yellow, what you trying to prove? 'Cause that's my woman there, and I'm a man who care, and this might be all for you." I said, "Excuse me." Da 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 da. Dun 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 da 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 da. Well, I was scared and fearing for my life. I was shaking like a leaf on a tree. 'Cause he was lean, mean, big and bad, pointing that gun at me. I said, "Hey there, mister, I didn't even kiss her. Don't want no trouble from you. And I know you don't know me, but I wish you'd let me ask one favor of you. I want you to give me 3 steps, mister. Give me 3 steps toward the door. Give me 3 steps, mister, and they never see me no more. For sure. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Well, the crack it away, and I began to pray, and water fell on the floor. And I tell you, son, it ain't no fun looking down a 44. He had turned and yelled out, Linda Lou, it was a brick I was waiting for. And you can, break I was waiting for. And you could hear me screaming a mile away as I headed for the door. Why is the tank shield still up and the SU's destroyed? Oh, won't you give me 3 steps? Give me 3 steps, Mister. Give me 3 steps toward the door. Give me 3 steps. Give me 3 steps, Mister, and you never see me no more. Show me the back door. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Okay, that was Give Me 3 Steps by Alabama. Is that right? They're the guys that do Sweet Home Alabama. Lynyrd Skynyrd. Give Me 3 Steps by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd got their starts in Muscle Shoals. And for every racist out there who likes Sweet Home Alabama or Lynyrd Skynyrd, or and sees that as kind of a Confederate, see all the flags and all that stuff, keep in mind that Muscle Shoals had the sound studio there was known for, before they ever brought Lynyrd Skynyrd together, known for recording Aretha Franklin. So those guys are tied in no way to racism whatsoever, even though there are a lot of country kicks that like their music, and stuff like Sweet Home Alabama and all that stuff. They need to understand those guys are more into soul and black people than any friggin' KKK could ever, And so they're very black, the Lynyrd Skynyrd dudes. And I don't know why. I guess they did use a Confederate flag or something, but I think it was really just to be associated with the South. I don't think it was to be associated with white racists or anything. And that's my most favorite Lynyrd Skynyrd song. They got other songs like Freebird and stuff, but but people always think of Sweet Home Alabama as the really most popular Lynyrd Skynyrd song. Let's see. Hey, you want to hear? This is a song that I was taught. It wasn't something I picked. It was picked for me because I have a strong bass voice. And they said, hey, you could do some Paul Robeson. I was like, who's Paul Robeson? So that's kind of where I stand with this song. But it visits a point in time in the history of the black slave, put in a musical. And I don't know what Paul Robeson thought of this song whenever he sung it. If he revered it, or if he thought it was just distasteful or cruel. It expresses the terrible feeling of being a slave, and that you'll never have control over your situation, and you'll never get the satisfaction you desire in this world, but it'll be in the next. And so the song is Old Man River. So Old Man River, that... Oh, okay. No, it doesn't start that way. It starts out, Color folks work in the Mississippi. Color folks work, white folks play. Pulling them boats from the dawn to the sunset. Get no rest till the judgment day. Don't kill a cop and don't look down. You don't dare make the white boss frown. Bend your knees and bow your heads and pull that rope until you're dead. Let me go away from the Mississippi. Let me go away from the white man boss. Show me that stream called the River Jordan. That's the old stream that I long to cross. Old man river, that old man river, he must know something, but don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling, he keeps on rolling along. He don't plant taters, he don't plant cotton, and then that plants are soon forgotten. But old man river, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Poke that barge, lift that bale, get a little drunk, and you land in jail. I get weary and sick of trying. I'm tired of living and scared of dying. But old man river, he just keeps rolling along. There you go. That's Old Man River. And that was like one of the first two. The other song I learned was A More Humane Mikado, and I got this from my instructor was in Los Alamos. Her name was Carolyn Coulter, or no, Carolyn Coulter. I think that was her name. And her husband, not, I don't think she's any relation to Ann Coulter. Carolyn was such a nice individual, such a beautiful person. She was older lady, past her prime and all that, and being young and in her old age, and had some dogs, family dogs that were also old and were arthritic, and was always kind of like pleading with them to stop groaning all the time, because it wasn't so bad to be old and be arthritic. But I took a picture of one of the dogs and showed it to her in 3D, and she said she looks so old, and it's like she never noticed it. And that's kind of the thing that photos can do, is if you present somebody the right perspective on something, they will see things they never saw before. And she was looking at her old dog, and she was like, she looks so old, and I kind of felt like I just sucked the soul out of her, because several weeks after that she passed away. I mean, my singing instructor passed away, and I was just like, did that do it? Me showing her that 3D image of her dog, because I was taking freeform stereograms, was that what killed her? And it's just, you never know what an effect a photo can have on somebody. Wow, look at this. NC's owning, and we don't even have alert. How can that be? You know what it is? This is probably not all connected. Something's wrong. Something's seriously wrong with this image. Oh. Ow. 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 It will happen once, the thing that's going on here is there's no score. The alert hasn't happened. That's another thing. But there's no score. You know what's happened? You know what I think it is that it's so under pop that there's like nothing. There's no way they're going to have an alert until it's 4:17. So they're not going to even have alert. So there's probably not enough pop in the rest of. I can go and do head counts here. See what it's looking like. 12 to 24. 1 to 12. 1 to 12. 1 to 12. So I'm guessing there what I'm seeing is that's like about 8 people there. There is it's probably another 8 people, so 16. And there's a 12 to 24. Where did I see that? There are 12 24 and allies none. So I'm guessing that's about 20 or so. It's probably the case that there's not even 64 people on the whole server altogether. Let's go look at the warp gate. It's right up here. Nobody at warp gate. Their warp gates. Nobody. So on the whole server, the number of people that are here about 60 or under 64, and that's probably the reason why alert hasn't happened. Is there isn't a significant number of people on here to represent an alert. It'll probably hit once we start encroaching on the warp gate of both of these. So once we establish a site on either warp gate, I bet the alert occurs. I'm going to go and get something to drink and come back. I'm going to cut this clip and then